Hey guys, it is Daphne here with another update from my garden for week 13. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. It is actually Monday, June 6th, which is technically week 14, but yesterday when I was going to go film, it was super duper rainy. It said it was supposed to be showers, but it was monsoon weather, so I couldn't get out. And of course I had just watered my garden the day before because it was looking so dry. So now it has been thoroughly soaked. So this week I'm just gonna go through and give you a little tour and show you what's been going on. And I have a couple of clips from last week that I'll throw in there, you know, for some fun. So let's get started. So I haven't shown you the peppers in a little while. They aren't much taller than they were before, but I think they're putting on tiny little fruit buds here, and there's more on the green pepper. The lettuce is looking like an absolute mess. The tomatoes are doing really well. They're growing nice and tall. They've made it to the second rung. Most of them. 2 of them have made it to the second rung, and they all have little flowers on them. So this one here is the early girl, and here we have the Roma, which is just a little bit shorter but looking really bushy and nice. Here's the super sweet one. It's Super 100. What is it called? Super Sweet 100. I almost got the name right. And it's got lots of flowers on it. You can see right there. If you find little suckers coming out of the crooks, like one was coming out right here, you just break them off so that they put more effort into making fruit. Finally, we've got our little indigo rose, which is looking very beautiful. It's got some nice flowers. Those flowers are really pretty too. So, lots of stuff happening with the tomatoes. Here's that other cayenne pepper, I think, or habanero? Serrano pepper coming up. It's getting a little bit bigger. Then we've got some radishes in with the eggplants. The eggplants are doing really well. Well, this one is looking very sad, but this one's growing nice and tall and beautiful. All those purple veins. Next to them we've got a bunch of carrots. They are not looking super great. Some of them are growing nice and tall, and some of them are looking really pipsqueaky. We'll do what we can with them. I'm going to probably do another sowing of carrots later in the season, so I think everything will be fine. And then we have the beets. There's so many of them that have this leaf miner, I think it is. I don't know, maybe it's not leaf miner. If you look at the leaves, they didn't really react to that spray I put on them. So, I don't know. I'm just going to let them grow and see if anything comes of them, because I'm not actually, I don't like the beetroot leaf, so I just want the roots, and I don't think any roots are growing yet, so we'll keep up hope for them. If anybody has any ideas, as always, I'm happy to hear them. And within this beautiful garden, I think you remember that I planted some sunflower seeds. They are coming up gangbusters now. Look at them all. I shouldn't have worried about planting seeds, because I think some of these are older seeds. Yeah, these ones definitely have to be the older ones. And then there's lots of them just coming up all over the place. I'm gonna have so many sunflowers. And moving on to the peas. So I was getting really worried about them because there were no flowers coming in. I know you're supposed to harvest peas in June through July. And finally we have pea flowers, pea blossoms. Look at them. So many. All across. Oh, and there's one actually turning into peas. Let me go get that and show you. Look. Right there. This guy right here is turning into a pea pod. I might actually have peas. I know, I can't not think I wouldn't get some peas in this massive... Oh, there's another one. There we go. So you might notice something a little bit different on this side of the garden. What's missing? Oh yeah, the giant tansy. It was getting so crazy and overgrown. So we took it out. And let me just show you a little bit of video of that right now. So welcome back, and you might notice something else a little different. The millions of seedlings I have in this area that I replanted. So let me tell you, this guy here, the one with the big leaf, and this has only been just about a week since I took the footage last time, maybe like a week and a day. This is how much it grew in that time, and then this one came next, and then as you can see, the ones that I planted before are coming up too because I didn't replant anything over here. So that seed germination timeline on the back of the package was so false, so very false. And then pumpkins, same thing. A few coming up in the areas I planted before and some nice ones coming up. The only ones that have not been so prolific are these little cantaloupes. And these ones were supposed to only take 5 to 10 days, and it's been quite some time since I planted. So I planted them on the 26th and the 6th today, so it's 27, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's 11 days total, and these are just coming up. These started coming up yesterday, and there's still nothing on the other side or any of the other spots. So as long as one of them survives, that's all I need, right? Along there you can also see some of the sunflowers that I blended. So I'm going to have to go through here, and I'll show you that this week, that I'm going to have to snip off the less strong seedlings and choose which seedlings I want to sort of bear their fruit or whatever. God, that sounds so official. And that's one thing I really hate to do. I hate to kill little things that I try to grow. They're just doing their best. It's not their fault that they're not as strong as their brother or sister. That's what makes me a little bit sad. So, do you remember this line right here? That used to be my line of beans. And I don't know if I have any of the video of any of the beans actually coming up a little bit, but I had beans coming up all along here, and some coming up in the golden wax beans as well. And they just, except for this guy right here, this one, this little friend, none of them really survived. I'll show you a picture of what they were like. They're basically coming up and dying, which is really, really sad. And I just pulled them all out, and I tried to look up what was wrong with them. Their roots were not that developed. Their little leaves, some of them developed their first set of real leaves, and then they shriveled up or didn't actually develop, and they were really gross and dry even though I had watered them a lot, and then some of them didn't even come up. So I don't know what kind of pest did that. I suspect it might have been earwigs, because I've heard that they eat pea seedlings. So when the peas come out, I think I'm going to try to plant some beans over there, since legumes seem to have done well in that part of the garden. And I'm also maybe going to try an experiment of putting some in buckets and just having a few plants there in hopes that we get some sort of bean harvest. I don't know. Beans, you're eluding me for now, but not for long. But that means I have this whole area, this whole line here, and a lot of area in there to plant some more stuff. Not sure what that's gonna be. It could, I've been intrigued by parsnips, which need to go in probably immediately to be ready for harvest in October. I don't know. I don't know much about them, but I'm going to do some research this week and see what I can put in now. Maybe I'll put my second row of carrots over here. But I'm going to keep away from the legumes over here because I don't want them to be chomped. But just down the way, nothing was chomped over there, so it's something that likes legumes. It's not, what is this? No, it's just a leaf. I was hopeful there for a minute that a little bean plant survived. We're going to leave this little guy in here and see if he produces any green beans. He was the first and only of his kind. I'm sorry. Okay, we're back with the basil, and look how much it has grown in the past week, and all the lovely little baby sunflowers in amongst it. And how could we ever forget the potatoes? Here they are, and I'm just going to show you a little clip right now of when I added some dirt to them. So let's go, Daphne. So here we are over with the potatoes, ready to earth some of them up. Some of them are pretty tall, so I think I'll be earthing up 3 of them. I will be doing it with this mixture here, which is some homemade compost with all our garden trimmings and leaves and all that good stuff. It's probably about a year old. And then there's also some peat moss in there and a little bit of fertilizer, because it's been about a month, I think, since they've been fertilized. So there we go. So here we are, one all earthed up. The camera of course stopped while I was doing it, so I didn't get the process, but it's pretty easy. So I'll try to show you on this guy here how it's done. Now I'm just going to sort of smooth out. So yeah, I think that's actually all of the ones that I'll do today. And I probably will have them all done by the time I do my tour at the end of the week. So you'll probably see that in a minute. So see you then. And look how much they've grown even since I put that new dirt. This one needs a little bit more. So does that one. And look at my star student at the end being attacked by Columbine, but still nice and beautiful and big. Very excited for these. And finally, I have a tiny bit of a surprise down here. What are those? But my very own seedling tomato plants that I grew all by myself from this weird Italian seed. They're Pomodoro tomatoes, and they're growing up a storm. Hopefully they'll get big enough to go in the garden and contend with their older brothers and sisters, but I'm very excited for these. I didn't think they would actually grow because the seed was 5 years old, but look at how many. I've got 6 of them here, so look forward to those going into the garden. So the rest of the non-vegetable and fruit-related part of the garden is also looking quite glorious. I'll take you around to a few of my favorite flowers, and one that I think is real ugly, but it's kind of interesting, so I'll show it to you anyways. So let's start with the peonies. So these all popped out within the last week, and one of them is actually already fallen apart and died, but I like them a little bit better when they are closed up and looking glorious. So these are the light pink peonies we have, and I am sure I'll show you some of the other peonies down the way. Onward to the crazy ugly flower. Well, it looks better now that it has its little baby flowers coming out, but it looks like an alien, and I'm told it is a member of the onion family, so an allium. But isn't it crazy? All those little tentacles coming out with little star-shaped flowers. Wackadoodle. Here we are at the rose bush. Look at all the beautiful pink buds. There's so many of them coming out. We're gonna have a whole mess of roses this year on this one. They're already smelling quite beautiful. And here we are at the other peony bush with what I think is a little bit of a prettier color of peony. Look at that. But not as prolific. And finally I'm going to show you this American wisteria, which is growing up on the fence. Yeah? Who's a good boy? Who's a good cat? Who's a good cat? So I will leave you with a parting shot of my overgrowing zucchini plants, and let you know that I really appreciate people watching these videos, and if you do like them, make sure that you subscribe. It's free and you get notified when I put up a new video. And I will be putting up another video, which I'm starting to work on right now for week 14, and occasionally I put up other videos of interesting things that I'm doing or crafting, or maybe, I don't know, geek stuff. It's an evolving channel, just full of the stuff that I like, and hopefully people who watch me like it too. So if you do like it, once again, subscribe. And yep, thank you for watching. I really appreciate anybody who watches, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye now!